Wnba, who represents all of the players in the league, is doing that. It's just so messy. And when stuff like this continues to happen, it makes me think, will there not be a WNBA season next year? And I do think that would be so detrimental to the league and all the momentum that it has. People are already getting turned off because there is more drama than there is basketball in this league. And that's a fact. Like, that's a fact. There have been so many things that have just been...
This wasn't intended to happen. Opening day excitement, cameras ready, and then turmoil, benching, no call, harsh fouls, silence from leadership, and suddenly one question blasted everywhere. Is the WNBA losing control over its own moment? Rumors spread rapidly by the end of the night. There were emergency meetings, live apologies, and wild murmurs that shook the entire league. Stay till the end, because what followed sent Adam Silver and the WNBA commissioner into damage control mode. The night was designed to commemorate growth, but what fans witnessed seemed different. Momentum slowed, excitement plummeted, and dissatisfaction quickly spread on social media. Viewers often pointed out the same issues: unrestrained rough play, boxed-in star players, and moments that felt handled rather than praised.
As for what Engelbert is alleged to have said to Collier, if she actually suggested Caitlin Clark should be grateful for what she makes off the court, that's preposterous. Did you miss the Iowa years? Clark is the Tiger Woods tide that lifts all boats. And we know this show is proof. The highest rating we have ever had followed one of her games at Iowa. The WNBA has benefited from her presence more than the other way around, even though this year for Caitlin Clark was essentially lost to injury. But it's a league that's at a flashpoint. According to Sportico, franchise valuations have soared. Players want more money, and the CBA expires at...
The expression opening day disaster became popular not because of a single play, but because of a pattern. Then came the benching, not merely rotation or matches. Fans saw it as a message. Why sit out your biggest draw during your biggest moment? Commentators contested it. Former players questioned this. And online, the tone shifted from enthusiasm to rage. This wasn't noise anymore. It was a backlash. Clips swamped timelines. Hard contact. No whistle. Play on. When frustration appeared, criticism followed. But not for the fouls, for the reaction. That's when the narrative shifted.
WNBA. Her estimated $8.1 million in income from her rookie season with the Indiana Fever was bolstered by big deals with Nike, Wilson, and Gatorade, and signals a shift in how female athletes are being valued in the world of professional sports. Last month, the Fever announced that Clark would be sidelined with an injury for the remainder of the WNBA season to focus on her recovery, but the injury doesn't change the fact that Caitlin Clark has, in the last 2 years, been the spark that lit the match that set women's sports on fire. And I love this little blurb because they just gave her the praise that she absolutely deserves, and especially that last line right there. In the last 2 years has been the spark that lit the match that set women's sports on fire. Caitlin Clark is...
Fans stopped arguing about basketball. They questioned leadership. Then came the rumor, which triggered everything. There was no press release or confirmation, but there was plenty of insider gossip to set the internet on fire. What if this drives players away from Team USA? The concept alone was combustible, benched on the grandest platform, chastised for being emotional, and forced to remain silent. Analysts cautioned that this is how confidence is broken.
The last round of CBA negotiations in 2019 before the new deal was signed in January of 2020. So they did do an extension before to get a deal done, but it seems like they're at complete odds at this point, and that won't happen this time. If an extension is not reached, it could open the door for a potential work stoppage, either a strike initiated by the players. Now, if nothing happens, it is a strike. For all the abuse, oh no.
Behind the scenes, the tone changed. There have been tales of hurried conversations, crisis messaging, and scurrying among league executives. Because once fans start asking challenging questions, you lose control of the answers. The pressure was no longer on the players. It was about leadership. Then came the live answer. The commissioner spoke about standards with careful language, a controlled tone, an understanding that things could have been handled better, an apology, and recognition of displeasure rather than admission of culpability. Adam Silver promoted togetherness and growth. Some supporters believed it was overdue. Others felt it was forced. But one thing was obvious. They felt the heat. That's when the wildest speculation started. The news cycle accelerated. The clips were pulled out of context. Duggar pauses, restructures, and implements big reforms. Not cancellations, but a serious reevaluation.
The NBA owns another 40% of it, and then there's a group of investors that Kathy Engelbert got on board in 2022 who own another 18% of this league. So the WNBA, the revenue that they get, they only own 42% of that. So it's going to be very hard, and I've been saying this from the beginning. This is not just a WNBA players and WNBA owners conversation that is happening. There are so many other pieces to this puzzle. There are so many other big business people, NBA players, meaning NBA owners and people in this world. There are so many different players to the puzzle when it comes to trying to get these players a revenue split. It is much harder than just saying, oh yeah, sure, we'll give you a higher percentage. And the NBA players get 50% of that. The WNBA is not going to get close to that number, and they are not going to get close to that number for a very long time.
Analysts framed it like this. If momentum falters today, the league must protect the future. And suddenly, 226 became a symbol of consequences rather than cancellation. This is not about a single game. It is about trust. Trust that the stars will be preserved. Believe that passion will not be punished. Believe that growth will not be tamed into silence. Fans do not seek perfection. They demand fairness. And when that is lost, everything shakes. Leadership received the message. The apologies were not a weakness. They were necessary, because in today's sports environment, controlling stars does not help you grow. You grow by empowering others. This incident compelled the league to look in the mirror. So now it's up to you. Was the opening day mishandled? Did the leadership react too late? And did the league learn its lesson? Share your opinions in the comments. If you believe stars deserve protection, please subscribe because this story is still emerging. This was not simply drama. It was a warning.